Hello, my name's George Hammond, and today we're going to be checking out some instruments by MNTRA Instruments. I think that's their name. So, if we switch over to Ableton here, I've got their custom player open here. Now, this is very exciting because there's not many small sample library companies that I know of which have their own sample engine. So this is pretty cool. So they sent me their entire catalogue of libraries to check out, and I'm over the moon about that. But let's actually see what they sound like. So some of these I've checked out, others I haven't actually had a proper play yet. So we're just going to have a quick play through some of the different libraries we've got here. But I do plan on making some more in-depth videos where I take a look at that library on its own and go quite in-depth with it. So let's just go to Arca here, which I believe is the string library, and we'll just load up the init patch. Lovely UI, look at that. So if we go to the sampler here, we can select samples to play. So it's got the string trio loaded in at first. So that's a really nice sound we've got there. I don't believe it has legato at all, but we've got quite a few different samples here. So that was MF strings. We've got the F here, so the loud. So that's quite a gritty sound. You can really hear the bow on the strings there. We've got shawls as well. So just a short, nothing too special there. We've got, now this annoyed me. When I checked out the library for the first time, I clicked on the thing and I double clicked to load a sample, and if I go for one which is down here, for example, it creates an EQ point. It thinks you're clicking on that part of the UI when you're not. It's really, really annoying. I hope they fix that. We were going to have a look at the Glissandi Trill. Quite an odd sound. I can see that being used for some textural things, though. And we've got the down. I was hoping it would do that that very nice thing where it just canters and it climaxes into that perfect. No, it didn't. It just kept going on. Maybe if I'd held it for another 15 seconds, it might have done, but who knows. Let's load up the scratch here. Ooh, that's quite nicely down low there. What about the harmonics? So what I think I'll do is I'll record this in. I'll add a bunch of splosh to it, a bunch of Valhalla vintage verb, my favourite reverb. I love it. to get that settled loop nicely. And we'll copy copy that over. For a total of 16 bars. Let's open up another instance here, and let's take a look at some more samples. So yeah, I need to load in Arca in it. There we go. So we just took a look at the cello harmonics, didn't we? So they have short harmonics as well, but I think I would like to take a look at... Let's have a look at some of these more effective ones. Oh, they've got a nickel harper. I love a nickel harper. Let's see what this sounds like. It's an interesting tone to it, that nickel harper. I'm not sure if it really sounds like a nickel harper, at least the nickel harpers that I've heard of. I'm unsure about it. It's a nice textural sound though, but I don't really know if it sounds like a nickel harper. Or at least what my experience with a nickel harper has taught me that this most likely isn't one. I don't know, it's a very odd tone to it. That's not what I would expect from a nickel harper. That's a bit closer. We'll keep that in. Let's load up another instance here and let's see what else I've got. So I think we'll take a look at Atma now. So there's presets here. If we go here, there's a bunch of different presets we can select from. So I might just select some of those, like some of these chimes here. I want to turn both of these two down here though, and then we'll just record something in with this. Just quantize that quickly. And so it starts on the correct beat. Sometimes I'm just awful at playing. This seems to be one of those times. So let's have another look at another one in Atma. What about an ARP? Not sure about that one. No to that one as well. These weren't the sort of ARPs I was thinking it might have. Though I can definitely see use of them, but not in this, what I'm currently just sketching. This, though, I can. This is what I was thinking. throw the Valhalla on there, turn it down, and give it a record. It wasn't far off, there was just one or two little bits which stood out to me. So we'll just load up another instrument here. Raza is the free one that they are just giving out. I believe you can just go and get it and get the engine. So let's just have a listen to one of the sounds in this. Quite nice. There's definitely some nice sounds in the street library here. And even the libraries which are not free, they're an insanely good price. They range from around $10, I believe, to around $40 on sale. Oracle X, which is the one I played around the most, I really like it. I think that's $129 off sale. On sale, I think it's around $50. I'm not sure though. But we've got some nice samples in this, so I'll just load up the init patch and we'll take a listen to a few of those. So one I quite liked was the, where is it? The Sean. Maybe MNTRA chords on it. It sounds a bit simple-like, but it's got quite a nice tone to it. There's another one, but I think it's the Tibetan pipes or flute or something. Low Tibetan horn long. That's it. And see, it's done that thing again where I've clicked on the sample and it's tried to change the setting. But this, I really like the sound of this. Add a bunch of Valhalla on that. You could probably do quite a lot of a score with just that. Loads of underscore can be done with stuff like this. Just these kind of cries. See lots of different stuff with it. So we're just going to record in this somewhere. Turn it down a bit. I've noticed this with a lot of the instruments in these libraries. They're quite loud. So we'll just load up another instance here and we'll take a look at what that has to offer. So let's take a look at the Ultrasonic death whistle. Sounds scary. So we've got a war cry in there at first. Don't know if that's meant to be a bit longer. Seems a bit short for a war cry, I think. That I would call a war cry of some sort, but as it says here, a night one. Quite an interesting sound. quite like that. Just very short. I'm adding quite a lot of Valhalla here because it's that kind of sound. It almost reminds me of almost a dragon breathing in its lair. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play that in. I'm just going to draw it in. This is a little bit in the background there. So as we can see, it is really quite good for just this almost this underscorey kind of background stuff, which is just meant to be there and just be heard, but very atmospheric. I think it works really well for what I do. And so I quite like it. We'll take a look at their latest library here, Pripyat, named after something to do with Chernobyl. I can't remember exactly where. It might be the place. My knowledge has faded about Chernobyl, unfortunately. This has got a lot of electronic, electromagnetic recorded sounds in it. It reminds me of Heinbach's Landfill Totems by Spitfire Audio Recordings. There's quite a few nice sounds in here. It's quite a nice sound there. And I really love this user interface we've got here. It's very nice. There's a lot you can do with it. And if we go into the automation there, we can control all of these values. And I think I like the way it's laid out. Let's just record in this drone. Automate these parameters a bit, so if I just add them here, and then we'll do some automation with them. Just quite simple, but drawn some lines here. So I do quite like stuff which can do this underscorey, very ambient almost, but just atmospheric stuff. I love just writing atmospheric stuff, so I think this is great really for what I do. But yeah, I keep noticing this. They're very loud. I have to keep turning down. I don't think I've ever really just left something at 0. In this project, there's one thing I've left at 0, and that's that bell, which is probably the quietest instrument in the entire in all of their libraries that I've heard. They're all quite loud, and I do have to keep finding myself turning them down, which is a bit of an annoying point, because the last thing you want to be doing is every time you load up a sample to play is go and immediately turn it down. You want to be able to record it in first and then deal with the mixing afterwards mostly, though you might be the sort who enjoys doing that, but for me it's very annoying if I have to come out of the writing process, go turn it down, come back in. It gets very annoying very quickly. So that's what we've written so far. Let's take a look at what else we could possibly add to this. I want to add a bit more on the high end, because as I just saw there on span, and what was confirmed by my ears, there's quite a lot of low end, and I want to add a bit more, so we'll just take a look at a few more instruments and oracle legs. I really like oracle legs. It's my favourite out of all of them, I think. Now this one I think is going to be quite interesting. If I add this in, I'm going to do some effecty stuff with it. We're not going to just leave it how it is. So first of all, I'm going to get a Pro Q up on it. And then I'm going to get up a delay. I tend to go for Replica XT. That's my favourite delay. I really like it. I'd like to try Times 3 at some point though. That's a new one by FabFilter. I love FabFilter stuff, so I think that would be quite good to try out. No, I really like Replica XT for this because you can quite easily add in all these extra effects like a flanger here. Because what we're doing is we're destroying the sound basically. We do not want it to be recognisable as what it is. We want it to be there in the background. And this is, I think this library is going to be very good for stuff like that. There's a lot of sounds you can just very easily add effects to. Like if we add Valhalla Supermassive, which is free by the way, you should go check it out, it's wonderful. What we're going to do is just automate that to turn off at that point, like so, and we're going to do the same for Replica XT. There we go. So it just sits there in the background in that part when it comes in, adding some high end, adding quite a lot of atmosphere and texture to the piece. So what I'm also going to add is some of the percussion that these libraries have. They do have quite a bit of percussion, some of them do. I think even the Arca one, which is the string library, has it. But I'm going to go to... I'm not sure. I think... we'll go to Oracle. Oracle's got... I think it's got the biggest selection of different sounds. It's not too unique. The others are very this only. This has got quite a lot of different stuff in it, which I feel you can use... like a bass drum roll maybe. Which is quite nice. I wish with sounds like this, and this goes to all libraries, if it is a roll which you can't control the mod rule, etc., that is just a recorded roll, it ends there. I wish they would tell you how long it is. So then what you can do is know exactly when to start it on your piece so that it climaxes where you need it to go. I hate the fact that I have to now record this in and then render it out and then adjust it, which is what I'm going to have to do. And this applies to all sample library companies. If you do not do that, I feel you need to be dropped a point in my books. It is so it's very easy. Just tell us how long the sample is, and it really helps and speeds up the process. So I've recorded that in. We're now going to create a new audio track. We're going to freeze that. You see all this hassle we now have to go through. We're going to drag it there. Okay, now we know exactly roughly where to drag it to. And now we can listen to this with click on. It's not exactly on the click, it's hard to exactly tell where one sample starts and the other ends, but that, for the moment, will do fine. And now I can delete that track. See, just see how annoying that is. Why won't you just please put how long the sample is? So I quite like that. I think that's quite a nice little 30-second piece we've done, only using 9 different instances of Mandala there. So, and I haven't even mixed this yet, but you can see it's very easy to get this really atmospheric sound using these libraries. As I said, I'm going to do a longer video and do one on each library itself and review them in depth. This was just more of me playing around with them. Let's see what they're all about. I really quite like them. I don't think we checked out every single library, but we checked out a few, including my favourite Oracle X. I really like that one. I downloaded that one, and I was blown away with some of the sounds which are in it. I think it's really quite good. So thank you for watching. This is rather a long video, a few minutes longer than my normal ones, but still quite long. So thank you for watching. My name's been George Hammond. Be sure to subscribe and hit the like button if you've enjoyed this video. It always helps out the channel. There's also be a playlist on the screen appearing now if you'd like to watch any more of my reviews. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've been George Hammond. Goodbye.